Most people don't get to meet their heroes, much less work with them, but I just got to, and it was amazing. It was awesome. You might have seen this guy bust myths on TV sometime in the last 15 years, but lately on YouTube, Adam Savage has dedicated his channel Tested to building incredible objects from his favorite films or from his imagination. And when he's not doing that, he and his team spotlight makers from all walks of life, such as theater, cosplay, engineering, filmmaking, and even puppeteering. And this summer, I got to be one of those makers. I got to visit his amazing workshop to talk about my short film, Gruff. We talked about process, inspiration, influences, and even got to collaborate on building a mini scene of Adam and his adorable dog, Maggie. To watch that conversation and build process, head over to the Tested channel, which I've linked down below, because this video is kind of a sequel to that. Because what they say about time is true. It flies when you're having fun, and since the most fun was had, time most definitely flew. So by the end of the day, we had working skeletons for Adam and Maggie and basic color on the puppets. But touch-ups and detailing were still left, so I brought the puppets home and did that polishing here. For Maggie, that meant starting to knock back this warm undercoat that Adam had built up himself. Maggie is up there in years, so working in this white charcoal and gray accents helped age her up a little bit. I like to work slowly and with a lot of layers when it comes to organic things like skin or hair, and kind of sneak up on the final look with a lot of little strokes and varied tools and techniques so it's naturally inconsistent, like fur would be. For Adam's puppet, the basic paint was there, but these jeans needed a lot more character, so I started by working in some dark washes to simulate denim, then dry brushed with lighter paint to simulate dust and weathering. I also brought up some of these high points with a charcoal pencil and muddied up his shoes just a little bit. I absolutely love working on tiny details, elements of a character or set piece that maybe not everyone will see, but if you do, it really helps you understand so much more about the person or the space, or in this case, pet. There's personality in details. For example, Adam has a particular affinity for these Papermate mechanical pencils, so I had to find a way to include that onto his puppet. I modified a toothpick with some color and shaping, and put it in his pocket so it's just peeking out. Now with the puppets and their props complete, I needed a setting for this scene. Before leaving San Francisco, I wanted to see the Golden Gate Bridge, and realized that this would be a great setting to loosely recreate, so that meant making a Golden Gate Bridge. I knew that it'd be out of focus in the background, so I really just needed the basic shapes and silhouettes, but if I wanted it to react to light the way a real 3D object would, it needed just enough detail to break up those shapes. I also tried my hand at some forced perspective, making the back tower a little smaller in scale than the front one with even less detail. And I carried that goal into the paint job as well, where after getting a coat of glorious red, I misted the towers with gray to simulate the haze that distant objects have. I used some red string for the tension cables, and before I knew it, it was time to get shooting. After bringing the footage into the computer and taking out the rods used to puppeteer the figures, I ended up with a 16-second mini scene, which I think any pet owner would be charmed by. But after all that, the most surreal part for me was making this title card that showed my collaboration with Tested, a channel that I watch probably every single day, and now we've collaborated. Ever since I've made movies, it's been a personal and professional goal of mine to make work worthy of being discussed in some form by Adam Savage on his channel. So for that to finally happen is like surreal. Or you know what? It's not surreal. It's real. And it happened because I believe that when you have a goal and you work on it in some form every single day, achievement of that goal is inevitable. With a dash of luck, of course. So I'm incredibly lucky and grateful to Adam and the team at Tested for hosting me. So thank you, Adam, Josh, Norm, and Kristen for your time and talent and hospitality, and for realizing this maker's dream. So without further ado, here's 16 seconds of Paper Adam and Maggie.